Now this is the edit page. The edit page is different from the cut page, where you can actually sync up your edits before you actually come to the edit page. After you sync up your cuts, you can move on to the edit page if you want to. Most people prefer to go straight into the edit page. And think of more of the cut page, you organizing like your thoughts, your clips together in the edit page, where you can start deciding what do you need and what do you don't need in your final project. And just know you can also import your clips into the edit. There's another way to bring your clips into DaVinci Resolve on the edit page. You can just right click on it, click in import bin, and it pops up. Just locate where your files are saved at, then click on open, and then they're inside DaVinci. You can also hit Control I and brings one up again. And also another thing, you can hover over the thumbnails. Inside the thumbnails, you can scroll over, see which ones you need. See, hover over this one, see which ones are being cut. This is like that because I linked 4 cameras up together. You come up to your thumbnail, you hover over it, and you see the clip before it plays, before you add to the timeline. So you see what clip you actually need. You can take it, drag it on the timeline, and there you just create the timeline. Then you come over to the inspector tab. In the inspector tab is where you can actually change the parameters of the video. You can zoom in, zoom out. You can position it, move it from left to right, and the y-axis move up and down. And then you got another one, the top y-axis. There's another zoom in, zoom out. This is from the y. This is the z. Pretty much, they both move because they link. They both move in and out. Got your anchor points. That's pretty much it. And when the inspector tab pretty much self-explanatory. You got your audio tab, effects tab, transition, image, and your files, which is what we set up in the previous video in the media tab, in the on the media page. Now you come here to the effects tab. You can click on it, and it pops up right here on the bottom. You can bring it up, bring it down, come up to the media tab, click on it. That does deactivate the media pool, and you can see right here you have something called the toolbox. You do it, come over to video transition, and you hover over the dissolves. You can see how your video will look if you add a dissolve to it. Without actually adding onto the timeline, you can preview it, which is a good feature in DaVinci. You can preview a lot of stuff before you add it on. See all different generators. You can preview it before. Same with your effects. You can preview pretty much that's about anything. Tiles, any type of text. It was all pretty really good features inside DaVinci. When you're ready to build a timeline, you click and drag a clip onto your timeline to create your timeline. Now you just create your timeline right here. Now in DaVinci, before you put your project, before you even put anything in there, a lot of time we'll ask you that, do you want to change your frame rate when you import video in here? And we come up with a box saying, do you want to click or do you want to change the frame rate or not? And most time I will always click yes, change the frame rate. If you don't do it, you come down here to the little gear icon right here. You click on it, and here right here, before you can create your timeline, you can actually change a lot of your settings. Timeline resolutions. You can change okay, pixels, y'all leave that square. See, you have your timeline frame rate. Now, see your timeline frame rate, and you can change the frame rating to like wherever you shot in. You can change your frame rating from there. Then after that, then you click save. If you already got your frame rate and everything set up beforehand, you can just click and drag and start building your timeline right here. A lot of time, if you already have a clip in your timeline and you build your timeline up already, you can't change your frame rating. So let's be aware that you want to, set your frame rate up first before that. But you do, however, if you do create a timeline first, you will have to come up here and delete this timeline right here and start over a new timeline. Then change frame rating after you delete your timeline, and then start over by dragging the clip back into the timeline. Like in the editor, you just take clips and just drag them down in. If you want to make a clip shorter, these icons up here will change the way you interact with the timeline. Grab the second editor tool, come right here. You grab the end of the clip, you can trim it down, and when it does, it pulls all the other clips down along with it. This is really good for a lot of you editors who don't like having gaps in your timelines. This is the easiest way to not have gaps in your timelines. So that way you can always just hover over it like this, pull it down, and it goes down with it, and pulls all the clips along with it. Back and forth, so you have no gaps in between your clips, which is pretty handy. Like, they have so many tools up here. You got instant clip. You also have your markers. This is pretty handy. So look right there, name, where the mark at. This is coming handy when you're probably doing like YouTube tutorials. You can mark where the beginning, well, from the intro to right at the beginning of the clip. You can mark where you can set up your timestamp, so where you want to have your video to explain what people need from the intro to the intro, from the intro to the actual, you know, topic you're talking about, to another part of the video where people might not run it, to another part where you got, say like this, where I'm doing the intro, then I go right into DaVinci talking about timeline, then from the timeline, I go and probably doing what the audio, then from the audio to the effects. I can just go ahead and stamp them within this video, and then I upload to YouTube. I can go ahead and look where I actually have them timestamp at and go on YouTube and timestamp them in the same spot, which is also a really good feature to have. You can also add audio to it, and the audio works the same way. You can trim your videos. So now we'll add some sound effects. So you can also drag it from audio in here, which is a good thing about DaVinci is that you can easily drag sound effects. Like if I had like Soundly open, I have all my sounds in Soundly, I can take it and just drag audio, just drop it in the window. Okay, that's cutting. So you want to add audio in here, because you can also add your audio in here. Obviously, you have to chop your audio up to match to the cutting up. This is just one thing you can do in the edit page that's really good. Just adding audio is a whole lot easier. Same as your music, have music, good, line your music up to it, and then on the next page I'm gonna show you how to do sound design with that. Obviously in Fairlight it'd be more advanced, where you can actually do more of your sound design in Fairlight. And I really think that's about it on DaVinci Resolve on the edit page. So if this was helpful for you, don't forget to leave a comment, a like, and smash the notification bell so you know when new videos posted. And I'll talk to you next one. Peace.